Hi guys, and welcome to Android tutorial of a random number generator. And here I have a text and it's another text here. So we then have the answer here. So if we click on generate number, there we go. So automatically it tells us the result of the numbers that is generated. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Android Studio development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's exit out and we start a new project entirely. Go to file, let's select new project and let's select empty activity. Click on next. Now let's give our project a name. I'm going to call that number generator. If you look at the package name, it's called example.number generator, and in here that's where I'm going to be saving my work. You can always change your directory if you want. However, the programming language that I'm using is Java. You can also use Kotlin if you want, and here you see the SDK that I'm using is Lollipop, which you can always change to whatever you want to change it to. As you can see, I'm using the API 21, so that means I can run anything higher than that. Now let's click on finish. There we go. Okay, now the development environment is ready. As you can see, we're using Java, and I'm going to go right down here. You see where we have the resources, just drop that down. And here I'm not going to be dealing with the drawable today. I'm going to be dealing with the layout. So drop down the layout and let's select the activity main here. There we go. And as you can see, we can only view just one of the environment, and this is the design area. So to view the blueprint, all you need to do is select this icon here and click on blueprint, or you can select both. There we go. Right here where we have palette, that's where we have all of the components that we're going to be using for the design of our interface. Well, first thing first, you see this project area. I'm going to kind of like minimize that or hide it. If you want to view it, you can always click back on it, but I need to hide it for now. And right here there is a text box already in here, and that very text box contains hello world. We don't need that. You can always delete it. I've already selected it. I'm just going to hit on the delete button, or you can come right here, just right click on it and select delete if you want. Let's move that up so that you guys can see me select the delete, and that is the delete right there. Click on that, get rid of it. But before I get rid of it, take note of the constraint. You can see 0, 0, 0 and 0. So let's do that. Right click and just get rid of it, and that is it, gone. What we want to then do is we need to add our own components. Maybe we should get rid of this blueprint for now. We can always bring it back anytime we need it. Just view the design alone and just zoom up so that we can see the design. Now right here inside the palette, select the text box, or the text is called. Grab the text, drag it and drop it right here, right at the top. There we go. I'm also going to just increase the size of this very text. So let's come right down and also change the text content on it. The size, I'm going to make that about, let's go over 40. So delete whatever we have in there and just make that 40. There we go. And at the same time, I'm going to change the text content that we have in there to, let's see if we can get that here. That is the text content. I'm just going to change that to using, let's say, random or numbers, whatever. That is fine. So let's kind of like position it there properly, and we also need to get it centered. Let's look for align. That's it right there. Text align. Drop it down, and I'm going to look for center. There we go. Get it centered. The next thing we want to do is, let's go up here. You see the constraint? I'm just going to pin it down. Okay, click on that. Once you click on that, you get the black dot around it, meaning is well positioned, and repeat the same thing for this one as well. Okay, so we can now move it anyhow we want. We can't do that anymore. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm now going to come back in here. You see the buttons? Click on the button, grab hold of the button, drag it, and let's dump that right here somewhere. There. And we also want to change the size of the font of that very button. Remember, you need to go to the properties. The properties, that is the attributes. Okay, just in case if you can't find that, it might look like this. Just click on the attributes, and that is it right there. So let me get it positioned properly and scroll right down. First thing first, let's change the text content to maybe generate numbers. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, scroll down, let's increase, let's get it centered as well. Align, I'm going to make sure that is centered there. And we also need to increase the fonts. Let's see, that's the font right there. I'm going to make that about, let's go for about 40. Let's see, change that to 40 as well. Seems to be a little bit big right there, and just move this up a little bit. And let's take care of the constraint. So scroll right out, that's the constraint right there. So just pin it down right there, and repeat the same thing for this here and here as well. That is good. Now we need the text box, well, text view is called. Grab hold of this text view, drag and drop it right there. We have one text view there, and this very text view, I'm going to change the text content, everything to 30. Come right down, and let's see, there we go. Drop it down and change that to 30. There we go. And let's get the text content centered as well. There we go, that is it right there. Get it centered. Now I'm going to grab hold of another text box, paste it right beside it. That is going to be set. Let's change that to the text content on it will just be the plus sign. Let's change that to 30 as well. And we also want to get it centered, align. I have to make sure they are all of the same level. That is fine. Grab hold of another. No, let's add constraint on it as well. Let's come in here, this very one. Let's make sure the constraint is added here. Add that, and to the bottom of it. Yeah, that's fine. Right there and there. And this other one, let's add constraint on it as well. I think this is it here. Add and add. Okay, and here. There. Now we need one more text box. Our text view is called. Grab hold of that and bring it here. We want to change the text content of that as well to 30. That is fine. And I'm going to now get it aligned. I think the alignment tool is up here somewhere. Right there. Get it centered. Okay, so let's move it so that we position it properly. I think that will do. Let's go right up here and just get it constrained. Okay, that's fine. Now let's give each component, let's give them the name. I will start with the button first. You see the button ID, that is it right here. So I'm going to change that to maybe BTN generate, something like that. Alright, and this dialog pops up telling me that I've changed the name. Would I like to preview or accept? I'm just going to click on refractor. Then the next one, let's select this very text box here, and in there I'm going to change the name of this text box to, let's call it TextView num1. There we go. Select refractor as well, click on that and select the next text box, and this other one, change the name of that as well, TXT view number 2, press enter and select refractor as well. There we go. These ones you can give them a name if you want, but I'm just going to leave them like that. Now you can also go from design view to split the design just like that, or you can click on the codes. The choice is yours. So let's split the design view right here. Now let's apply a little bit of codes to it. You see this very one here? Using random number, I'm just going to make it bold. So type in text style, that is it right there, and just select bold. That is fine. You see that? And if you want, you can also change the color. Text color, I'm going to make that black. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I've selected this. Come right down here, paste. Alright, so I'm going to use it for the next one. This is my second video on this application, so I guess I'm trying. So let's come to the next one here. Paste there. That is fine as well. And the next one here, come right down and paste as well. Okay, looking good. What about this guy here? Let's make it bold as well. The button, is that acceptable? Oh, it's white. Let's just make it bold. Let's say text style, that bold. There we go. That's fine. Alright, that is taken care of. So let's go back to the design view. That's the design view there. Okay, and if you want to view using the blueprint, all you just need to do is go back in there, select design and blueprint. That is how it's looking right now. Okay, now let's try some codes. Remember the name of each component. Okay, so we come right here, select the main activity, and right here. So the very first thing we want to do is click right underneath here. This is the default lines of code that comes with the system. So press enter. Now the very first thing I want to do is I'm going to use view, or let's say view according to how the system is configured. View btn generator, that is the name of my button, and that is going to be equals, because it's a button, I'm going to just specify it, button, and let's come out of it and say find view by ID, and the ID is going to be r.id.btn generate. There, enter, semicolon. There we go. Press enter. If you look in here, it seems to have an error. So if you just place your mouse there, it's asking you, would you like to import the class? So I'm going to click on the class. There we go, that's gone. And let's repeat the same thing for the view. There we go. And if you come right down here, we should be able to see both class. That is it right there. Okay, now the next one. Press enter. And I want to enter the lines of code for the two text view. One of them is known as txt view. That would be num1, and num1 will be equals text view, and the text view is going to be find. Let's grab hold of all of these, paste them in here, dot txt num1. Alright, that's called txt view num1. So close the bracket and enter semicolon. Now we have the same error here, so what we need to do is just import a class. If you notice the library in here. So if I click on import, let's see what's going to happen. Import, there we go. So we just imported the text view widget. Now the second one, just select that, drop that down, change this to 2, and this one is 2 as well. There, that is fine. So I've taken care of all the widgets. Now the next thing I want to do is I now want this very button here. Let's get hold of that. I'm going to use that as a trigger function. So put it down and just say dot set on, that will be on click, and I would like you to listen to the events. Okay, set on click, listen, and that is going to be as a new view, dots on click listener, enter parenthesis in there. Now I'm going to come out of that and just enter curly braces, press enter. Now let's get it override. Say art override. Now right underneath here, now I'm now going to create a public void click. Let's say public void on click. That's a view, and that will be view within the parentheses. Come right down here, enter curly braces. Okay, right in here now, first of all, let's end this here. Right in here, I'm just going to create as follows. Let's say final, then we come, once we finish doing that, we'll take care of all of the errors. Let's say random, and this is my random number. I'm just going to call it ran, and that is going to be new random. So that is the instant name. Enter semicolon there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare the following. Let's say number 1, that is going to be equals run dot next int, and the value in there you can enter whatever. So I can just make that, maybe let's make that 120, enter semicolon there. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing for the next one. This is going to be num2, and we can just change this to maybe up to 300 or whatever. So that's fine. Now I'm now going to use the view again. Grab a hold of the view, come right in here, text view, and that is going to be for the very first one here, TextView. Paste that in here. That is going to be, let's close the brackets, let's put it in a bracket, and I'm going to say dot, let's say set text, and the text that we're setting is the value that we have in here. However, because this only accepts string character, I have to change that to convert that to string. So let's say string dot value of, and the value we're talking of is going to be num1. Grab hold of num1, dump it right in there. That is fine. So copy this and repeat the same thing for the next one. Paste it right there and change this one to 2, and this is 2 as well. Nice one. So the next thing I want to now do is I'm going to create another variable. Let's say string result, that is the name of this variable, that will be equals. Now we need to convert that. I'm going to just grab hold of everything that we have in here, dump it right there. It's a string dot value of 1, and let's add 2 to it, number 1, and add number 2 there, and enter semicolon here. Now we need somewhere to display our result. Now if we go back into our main activity or activity main, I was meant to add a text box in here which I left out. I'm going to come back in here, Make sure the text widget is selected. Grab hold of the text and just dump it right here somewhere. Okay, that's fine. And let's go to the attributes right there. That's the attribute. If you can't find it, let's assume if it's collapsed, that is it right there. Click on the attribute and scroll right down. Oh, first of all, let's give it a name. I'm going to call it TextView Answer. TextView Answer. Press enter and select refractor there. Now let's increase the font size. Come right down here, font. Let's see, font should be somewhere here. Change the font to 30 SP. And what about the align? Let's look for align. I want that centered. Align, that's going to be centered. And if we go inside the code, and let's change as follows. We want it to be bold, view answer. There we go. I'm going to make that bold and change the color as well to black there. Okay, now let's go back to the design. Click on the design there. That is it right there. Let's make sure we position it properly. Now what about the constraint? Go right up the attribute, and that is the constraint. Just peg it right there. There we go. Let's pin it down, and here as well. There we go. All done. Now that that is taken care of, let's go back to the main activity. And right in here, the value, whatever the result is, I need to store it somewhere. So come right down here, press enter, and let's say view. Okay, grab hold of view. Okay, we can just grab hold of everything that we have in here, dump it right here, and change this one to view answer. View answer, and that is going to be results. Paste this right in here. There we go. Right, let's see. Okay, we have an error there just because I haven't declared view answer up here, so I'm going to do that right now. Grab hold of this and dump it there, and this is going to be view answer, and this one as well. Change this one to answer. There we go, and there, that is gone. So let's take care of these minor errors and we take it from there. Okay, let's see what the error might be in here. Okay, look at that. That very coil braces shouldn't be there. That locks up the whole system, so I'm going to delete that. Come right down here and just paste it right here, and that is it. All the error is gone. Check that out. So have a good look at the lines of codes, and I'm going to run it right now. Bring it down there. So before I run it, make sure you guys have your emulator selected. If you don't have an emulator, all you need to do is to select an emulator here, or you can also go to your device manager and just get that selected. Okay, so within your device manager, you can always create a new device. If you don't have an emulator within your system, like I have one here, you can see how huge they are. Okay, just click on create new and select whatever emulator you intend to use in here. Select anyone you intend to use. Let's assume we select this very one now. You click on next, and you then have, well, let's say you click on next, you then have to download and get it installed. I'm going to cancel that because I already have two on my system and it's taking off a lot of space. That's how you install your emulator, and those are the tools that I've installed, and I'm actually using one of them up here. So the next thing you do is click on run. There, just click on run. There we go, guys. So let's collapse this device manager so that we can see the app properly. There we go, that is it right there. You see that? And that's how you generate your own random numbers. Add it all together and there. So I'll be back with more app development. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. So just before I go, have a good look at the lines of codes used. So let me collapse these, all of the imported libraries, so that you can see more of it. So have a good look at the libraries anyway. And I'm going to collapse that. Scroll right down. There, guys. And you all have a nice day now. And bye for now. Thanks for watching.